Oh, now it's recording. Haha, that's funny. This thing was thinking that it was recording. You're probably wondering why all this crap is in front of the camera. It's extra details. Yeah, I'm still stuck on that idea of being in my own private hell. I'm in my own private Idaho, like the B-52 song. You're living in your own private Idaho. Yeah, it's the closer. The, the thing that I'm finding out with the reality now is that the things that used to always break on me now are not breaking, and all the ideas I had in my head are kind of like displaying themselves in the world, and it's kind of like whoever's managing this reality wants you to have the best experience going out, and it may be the case that all of this junk, the hell and heaven and all this other kind of crap, was really just constructed in such a way in order to test you, in order to determine how determine how to shape the neural networks, how to shape the perceptions, and because at the bottom line, what it says in the Bible, or the idea you get from the Bible is that there's some key things that Jesus was trying to push that nobody really seemed to get, and that was is he didn't want to rule over this land. Satan is in control of everything here, and that he didn't long to have money. He didn't long to have like what he was really about was trying to give people comfort and help them to get through this existence, because this existence is a lie. Okay, since Satan is the ruler of the world, and Satan is the father of lies, and Satan spends a lot of time distracting people, distracting them into things that are fruitless. What matters in this world, or what matters in heaven, is producing fruits, and that is not being distracted by the things that go on in this world, but focusing in on making something of something that is going to benefit other people, something that's going to make other people feel good, or distract themselves from the stuff that's going on in the world. And maybe the reason why the last video was lost was because this is actually kind of what I'm doing, and all this junk that's being thrown in my face is the sort of stuff that Satan does to try to keep you from being effective. It's the resistance to your producing fruit. He doesn't want you producing fruit. He doesn't want you to be effective outside of the world. If you long to be in the world, if you're comfortable with the way the world is, that's not good. Because if you can see that the world is screwed up and you know why it's screwed up, it's not important to fix the world. Because, and this is the reason why Jesus didn't want to be rulership over the world, was that since we have only two eyes and limited perception, our brain can't perceive everything, it can't know everything, it's impossible for us to really know what should be done in the world. To vote for someone to do something, to somebody who has rulership over a group of people and stuff like that, to want to change the world is never going to happen, because it's always going to get screwed up again. and you will only live long enough to have it the right way, and when you die, who's going to take over? But someone who doesn't share the same perceptions you do, that didn't learn the stuff you did. You're just coming into all of this as a cog in a machine, and a specially designed cog. And if you look back on your life, you'll come to the realization that it was a miracle, that there are all these miracles that led up to you being where you are today. And nobody's good, and I'm involved in quite a lot of evil stuff that I even know is evil, but I'm writing it off as education, so that whenever I have to deal with somebody who's like me, that it has the same sort of evils, I can help them out, maybe, or I can help them realize that the things that this world, that people get distracted in this world over, that, you know, the thing that matters most is your behavior, that you don't treat people badly, okay? You don't want to, you know, anywhere that you would be in control of other people against their will, which should be considered rape, is rape. To enslave others, all those things. That is, I mean, and what Jesus was trying to do is trying to get everybody to see everybody as being subservient to each other, to be serving each other, to be siblings, real siblings, not ones in marriages where that's dysfunctional. You're not. He recreates for you a non-dysfunctional family. He says that God is your father, and your mother's your mother, but other older women that are older than you are also your mothers. And then there's your dads that are not father, but they're actually like your brothers. And then you got your brothers and your sisters. But what he was really saying is everybody who does my father's will is my mother, my brothers, and my sisters. So everybody that is trying to behave well and trying to treat each other well, and looking out for each other and trying to be positive and trying to resist the temptations of this body that we're in, to basically not produce fruit, to sit around and just do our own thing, and like not serving people in some form or another. And what I'm focusing is on trying to inspire people and trying to reduce stress. These are things I think I can do. And these videos would be stressful to somebody who is experiencing what I'm experiencing, which is this perpetual bombarding of demons, demon possession. And the form it's, from my perception, is what the way it's taking is the constant. I'm constantly being made aware that things are not right, and the numbers are just a small part of it. And the more global part of it is you know, Trump getting in office and all these things that we can't make any sense of. And the purpose for that is to help us realize that even though there is good here, that this world is going to be manipulated out from under you. The rug is going to be pulled out from under you. You'll never have, unless you are grounded in understanding that this is all screwed up, and that there are other things you need to look for to find a lifestyle inside of this. That know what you shouldn't be pushing for, what you shouldn't be pursuing, and that is 5 million viewership on YouTube. I mean, you could make money that way, but you can't rely on it. Um, you can't rely on anything in this world, and you shouldn't think that like stuff that you have now today is going to be there tomorrow. Um, you just need to be thinking about what is the least that I need in order to exist and to be happy. And then on top of that, what could I do to make other people happy and to help them get through whatever it is that they're doing. And but the best case is to have people you know, have friends, have family, and to be interacting with them. I don't know what's going to happen after my parents pass away. What is going to happen? I'm probably going to develop schizophrenia, and I'm going to have multiple personalities. I'll have a multiple personality disorder, and I'll start talking to myself. I have a feeling this is probably what's going to happen, but I don't have any problem with that because the brain is adapts to changes, and whenever it can't find the things it needs, it can construct it. Because if you think about it, you only use 10% of the brain. Probably the reason why you don't use the other 90% is because that's the part of the brain that's going to be taken by other personalities that will develop as a result of not being able to cope with reality. That and that's how in this world you deal with loneliness. Is it ends up being something like Tom Hanks in that movie where he ends up being deserted on an island and ends up making friends with a volleyball. It can happen. I guess that was based on a true story, but it can happen, and that's what your brain does. It's a survival mechanism. Part of its survival mechanism is to generate perspectives and to construct a world around you to permit you to survive in situations that are distracting and stressful. And in the Bible, a lot of what Jesus pushes for is to reduce stress. The funny thing is that when people pray, they pray in public groupings. And when they go to church, they wear T-shirts that got crosses on them and scripture and stuff. You go out into the rest of the world, even though it says in the Bible that nobody's going to really understand all that, or they're going to be against you and all that stuff, they don't expect them to be against you. They will be against you. They'll be against you because you're pushing something that doesn't feel natural to them because it pushes against their wants and desires to do the things that they want to do, which is drink alcohol and have sex and things like that. But don't think that you're not going to do the same. Just don't do it around them. Just don't collect in groups, spending all your time doing all the things of pleasure and not producing any fruit. The strive is to produce fruit, and it's not fruit where you say, "Hey, look what I did." It's fruit where you say, "Look where I spent my time not getting distracted by all the crap that's going around in the world." And so I think the fruit that I produce is a kind of evangelistic fruit, but I can't lay claim to it because I know after this video, even if it goes up or people hear it, I'm not ever going to collect money on it. I don't believe evangelists should ever be paid to evangelize. It's just like doctors who feel really bad when they have to give somebody a $100,000 medical bill, and they know in their mind that if there was no malpractice suits or any of that kind of crap, they would do it for free. And that's my feeling, is that if you feel something is true, if you feel that something should